So this is how it begins, not with buzzer beater or a press conference, but with a moment that felt like the entire basketball world just stopped breathing. Three of the sport's biggest names, Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, and Larry Bird, stood side by side, delivering a message that no one saw coming. Not a trade, not a retirement, but something bigger. Something that could permanently rewrite the story of basketball across generations. And as the echoes of that announcement bounced from ESPN to every corner of social media, fans were left with one burning question. What does it all mean? In a world obsessed with individual greatness, this trio defied every expectation by uniting their legacies. Caitlin Clark, the blazing comet lighting up the WNBA. LeBron James, the billion-dollar brand and once-in-a-lifetime talent. And Larry Bird, the architect of basketball wisdom rooted in Indiana soil. Their announcement wasn't a gimmick. It was a gauntlet thrown down at the feet of every executive, every sponsor, every critic who ever doubted the power of basketball to unite, elevate, and transform. This wasn't just symbolic. It was strategic. Together, they're creating more than headlines. They're building history. Clark's generational energy, LeBron's unrivaled empire, Bird's legacy that shaped an entire state. The chemistry wasn't forced. It felt inevitable. Like the past, present, and future of the sport collided into one earth-shattering moment. Fans weren't just watching greatness. They were witnessing the birth of something larger than the game itself. And behind the lights and applause, one truth became clear. This wasn't a partnership. This was a movement. For years, fans debated who truly carried the torch of basketball greatness. Now, that debate is dead. Because greatness just merged across generations. What made this moment unforgettable wasn't just a surprise. It was the unmistakable chemistry. LeBron's grounded wisdom matched with Bird's sharp instincts. And then there's Clark, fearless and raw, standing with legends like she's been there all along. That image didn't just shock fans. It redefined who belongs at the table. And as the cameras cut and the world began scrambling to decode what they had just seen, one thing was certain. This announcement wasn't the end of a chapter. It was the first line of a whole new book. LeBron James has never been just a basketball player. He's a blueprint, a billionaire blueprint of how to play the game and then master it beyond the court. From owning the Charlotte Hornets to building an empire with Nike, LeBron has transformed himself into a sports tycoon. But his next move? It's not about padding his legacy. It's about using it to create something that lasts beyond his name. And that starts with this trio, with this vision, with this bold new alliance. His partnership with Nike alone is worth over $5 billion annually. That's not a number. It's leverage, power, a seat at any table he chooses to enter. And what's he doing with that power now? He's not going solo. He's handing the torch off with purpose to a WNBA rookie with superstar potential and a legacy builder from his own childhood posters. This isn't ego. This is strategy. This is LeBron building the basketball universe he wants to leave behind. While most players fade from the spotlight after retirement, LeBron has done the opposite. He's become the game's greatest disruptor. He's invested in everything from pizza chains to Liverpool Football Club. His empire touches every corner of sports culture. And now he's extending that empire to women's basketball, bringing that same billion-dollar infrastructure to Caitlin Clark and Larry Bird's backyard. This isn't a favor. It's a power play. LeBron knows influence means nothing if it doesn't shape the future. He's not just backing Clark for a hype. He sees a long-term return. He sees a league that's finally breaking out of its shadow, and he wants in, not as a guest, but as a co-architect. And with Bird anchoring Indiana and Clark lighting up the WNBA, this trio is set to build the most impactful sports initiative the league has ever seen. What's most terrifying for their competitors? This isn't LeBron's last chapter. It's his most dangerous one yet. Larry Bird is more than just an Indiana legend. He's the heartbeat of basketball in the Midwest. From French Lick to the NBA Finals, Bird has always seen the game differently. Like a chessboard, he could dominate with a flick of the wrist. But when he stepped down from his executive role with the Pacers, the world thought he was walking away. Instead, he was recalibrating, preparing, waiting for the right time to make his next move. And now, that time has arrived, with Caitlin Clark at his side. His coaching days may be behind him, but Bird's mind never left the court. He built playoff-ready rosters from scratch. He scouted talent that others overlooked. He shaped the Pacers into contenders without ever chasing headlines. His resume speaks for itself. NBA Executive of the Year, NBA Coach of the Year, Finals appearances, and now he's returning, not to rebuild the Pacers, but to help reimagine the sport itself. Caitlin Clark wasn't even born when Bird was calling plays, but somehow their connection feels cosmic. Both are Hoosier icons. Both elevated the game with their vision and grit, and now their paths are converging in a way that feels almost fated. Bird sees something in Clark, something rare, a player who doesn't just play for points, but for meaning, someone who sees the floor like a general, someone he can mentor, mold, and maybe even pass the torch to. When Bird speaks, Indiana listens, and when he backs someone, it means everything. With Clark's rise in the WNBA and Bird's unmatched reputation in Indiana basketball, their partnership has a potential to transform the Midwest into the epicenter of American basketball again. Not just for men, not just for the NBA, but for the entire sport, boys and girls, pros and amateurs alike. Bird may not lace up his sneakers again, but his fingerprints are all over this next chapter. And that might be the most dangerous thing of all. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she ignited it. From her first step onto court, the world felt a shift. Jerseys sold out, endorsements skyrocketed, ratings exploded. But it wasn't just her skill, it was her presence, the way she carried herself, the way she turned doubters into believers and highlight reels into headlines. She wasn't just a rookie, she was a revolution. Her deal with Nike, historic. Her fan base, massive. Her marketability, untouchable. Clark isn't just the face of women's basketball. She's become its engine. And companies aren't just sponsoring her, they're betting their futures on her. Wilson Sporting Goods, Gatorade. These aren't partnerships, they're alliances. And with every Instagram post, every buzzer beater, she redefines what it means to be a star in this league. Clark has done what no WNBA player before her has achieved at this scale: cross-market appeal. She's not just adored by WNBA fans. She's worshipped by NBA fans, college fans, young girls, teenage boys, even retired vets. She's everywhere. And that presence, it's currency. The kind of influence brands and leagues would kill for. But now, she's using that currency not just to build her own empire, but to create opportunities for others. She's mentoring. She's advocating. And now, with Bird and LeBron by her side, she's ready to shape the game, not just play it. She's not just rewriting her own legacy. She's reshaping the rules of engagement for women in sports. And if you thought Clark was already peaking, think again. This is just the beginning. Imagine this: a state-of-the-art training facility. One that blends Bird's classic fundamentals, LeBron's intense training regimens, and Clark's Gen Z precision. It's not a dream. It's a blueprint, a development system so advanced, it could become the new standard for training across genders, ages, and continents. And now it's on the horizon. The three legends aren't just looking to coach, they're looking to build. Think elite basketball academies that offer more than practice space. We're talking nutrition labs, sports psychology programs, digital shooting analytics, and mentorship curriculums. It's not about producing good players. It's about producing complete athletes. And this trio knows exactly how to do that. With streaming, YouTube, and TikTok dominating modern media, the group also sees a new path: content, training videos, docuseries, interactive basketball experiences. They can go straight to the fans, cutting out the gatekeepers. And when LeBron speaks, people watch. When Clark plays, people click. When Bird teaches, people listen. Together, they own the conversation. But the vision doesn't stop there. These three are looking to create a basketball universe. Apps, gear, live events, online coaching, and at the center of it all, accessibility. A future where a 12-year-old girl from Iowa can get the same training as a D1 athlete. Where virtual reality puts fans courtside from their living room. This is not theoretical, it's tactical, and it all starts with trust. Fans trust Clark, sponsors trust LeBron, coaches trust Bird. When that kind of trust converges, you don't just make a splash, you cause a tidal wave. The potential for women's basketball here is nothing short of explosive. With Clark's stardom rising and two of the biggest male icons backing her journey, the message is loud and clear. The time for equality isn't coming. It's here, and it's going to be televised, monetized, and immortalized. This isn't just about giving Clark a platform. It's about using that platform to pull everyone up with her. Girls who once saw basketball as a dream are now seeing it as a career. And that shift, it's generational, it's historic, and it's long overdue. The challenges facing women's sports, low media coverage, unfair pay, lack of sponsorship, are being confronted head-on by this trio. And when LeBron and Bird show up for women's basketball, it's no longer a niche topic. It's a cultural revolution. There's power in public support, but there's even more in partnership. These aren't just allies of the women's game. They're stakeholders, investors, mentors. When male legends back the women's league, the ripple effect reaches every locker room, every network, every boardroom. And when those ripples turn to waves, the whole world has no choice but to watch. They say marketing is about storytelling. Well, what better story than this? 3 eras, 3 icons, 1 vision. With the kind of cross-generational appeal this trio commands, their combined brand reach could eclipse anything basketball has seen. Imagine a signature line of products, shoes, apparel, tech, co-branded with LeBron, Bird, and Clark. Instant classics, slam dunk sales, the kind of merchandise that sells out in minutes and defines an era. From TikTok drops to Super Bowl ads, they could turn basketball into a lifestyle. But marketing isn't just about products, it's about connection. LeBron speaks to global fans. Bird connects with blue-collar roots. Clark inspires the next generation. Together, they could redefine what basketball means to masses, not just as a sport, but as a movement. They could create a media company, one that tells stories, trains athletes, hosts clinics, and sells dreams. And every time a fan sees that brand, they see 3 things: excellence, evolution, and inclusion. This is the future of sports branding, and it starts now. And if you're still wondering whether this alliance is serious, just look at the numbers. Clark's rookie contract is strong, but her off-court earnings are skyrocketing. Nike, Wilson, Gatorade. That's not luck, it's strategy. She's becoming the WNBA's first marketing titan. LeBron's a billionaire, the first active NBA player to cross that line. But instead of retiring on a yacht, he's building schools, launching businesses, and now investing in Clark's revolution. This isn't charity, it's legacy management. Bird, with a net worth of $75 million, has always played the long game. And now, he's cashing in his wisdom, not for profit, but for purpose. He knows the value of timing, and he sees what's coming. And what's coming is bigger than any one player. Together, their financial power isn't just impressive, it's dangerous. Dangerous to the status quo. Dangerous to the leagues that refuse to adapt. Dangerous to any brand that thought women's sports wasn't worth the investment. Because when icons align, money follows. And so does change. So, what will they build next? We don't know yet. But if history is any indication, it won't just be big. It'll be unforgettable.